first and foremost, how are you feeling? You've been really relaxed this week. We've enjoyed being around you. Very, very mean fighter, wonderful fighter, but you are really taking to all of this media attention now. Everybody loves you, and how does it feel to be so loved here on the Gold Coast?
It's always good, you know. I love the support, everyone coming out. But I just can't wait till Sunday, man. You know, I just want to get in the ring, do what we do, and then focus on the next.
So Claudio here, he seems to be talking in riddles perhaps a little bit. He's not giving much away, which I think is reasonable, but does that make it any tougher task for you, or any type of different situation in the fact that he's not giving away, he's not giving anything to bite at you? We know that you love fishing. I can't fish, you can, but we're trying to get a little bit out of him here, but he's just not taking the bait at the moment.
I've got no doubt he's going to come forward and bring a war. You know, he's quiet, he's humble, which I respect. You know, I always say your opponent's never your enemy. But I know once that bell goes, man, it's on. You know, we're going to go to the war and we're going to be punching on. And I've seen him, bro. He's been knocking people out cold, so I'm going to be switched on the whole time. And I'm ready for 12 rounds of war.
Is he a dangerous opponent in the fact that he can come close to you, perhaps a little bit? You can see in the height when you guys matched up, he's a little bit shorter than you, perhaps doesn't have as much range as you. So if he really tries to come in and crowd you and box you, is that something that could be a threat to you?
Definitely, man. That's got to be his game plan. You know, if he stays out long, I'll box his ears off. So he has to come forward. He has to make it ugly. And he has to try and throw power shots and hurt me, you know. So we just got to be patient. We're going to stick to our game plan, do what we do and box. You know, we put on clinics. So Sunday, another clinic.
So encouraging everybody to come out then. Are you going to put on a clinic? Is this the time where you've sent messages for years now in the cruiserweight division? Is it time now to put on a clinic and basically show the world that you are number one? I am ready for anything and anyone.
We always put on clinics. We always put on good performances. We train too hard not to. I've been in the trenches the last couple of weeks, grinding away. You know how I train. Now it's time to reap the reward.
Prepared to give us any type of prediction on how this will go based on the style of Claudio and how he will come and try and fight you?
Man, I'm curious to see how aggressive he comes out, you know, how tough he really is. So let's go there, let's go deep.
You always talk about being ready to go deep. What would a 12-round war look like against Claudio Squeo? Is that something where you just outbox him, you outmaneuver him, and you pick him apart and get all the scorecards?
Man, I've got it all. You know, I believe I can beat him in the pocket. I believe I can outbox him. But we just got to fight smart. We've got to choose our battles. And just wait till Sunday. You know, it's hard to tell the future. So we go off their presence, go off their energy, and we adapt and we find the holes.
Tapu, over to you quickly. Jai is speaking really confidently. He sounds really excited. There's a great demeanour to Jai this week. I think we've all loved being around him. What have you made? Is there any change in there, or is it just someone who's just really happy to be taking the world by storm now and ready to show everybody that he's the very best in the division, the very best in the world?
Yeah, tarofa lava, manuia, sufua le luga mama. Thank you for having us. Man, he's just, yeah, he's ready to go. He's always ready to go. So we just get prepared and show up.
And what's training been like, Taps? It's been a good camp with Jai. It's all gone very well, the training camp?
Yeah, those that know Jai, Jai trains very intense. So, you know, we put him into place. We took all the boxes, and then we show up on the night.
Fantastic. Jai, last couple of questions for you. Dad sounds confident. He's just as humble as you are, which is great. Great respect for the sport of boxing and for the business. Any last messages you want to say to the fans out here in the Gold Coast? Of course, we've got the pay-per-view here, DAZN.com/boxing, and we're looking to sell the venue out not long away from that now. Any last messages as you look to take over the world after hopefully winning on Sunday?
Sunday, man, another sellout here on the Convention Centre. You know, it's going to be a great night. Tune in on DAZN. Let's go to war.
If this is your swan song in Australia, what does that mean for you to have fought two massive sort of comeback fights over the last 6 months before you then go and take the world by storm?
Yeah, man, this will be my last one in Australia for quite a while, they say, so I'm pumped to be here. You know, I'm pumped to leave my print here in the Gold Coast, have my family here for the last time, before we go and take on the world and show them.
Just quickly then, if we don't see you for a few years, is it possible that we can bring you back in maybe 2 or 3 years for a massive stadium show or something like that, sell out, I don't know, Suncorp Stadium, Seabar Super Stadium, one of those, and then you can come and that'll be, the final last little period at home here. Big stadium shows, big crowd, the very best in the world, the best Australia has ever seen.
Definitely, man. Bringing one of those unification fights here to Australia in the stadium, that's the goal. Showing the rest of the world that Australia deserves to be up there with the best. That's a dream come true for that to happen, so we're pushing towards that.
Well, Jai, we wish you all the very best. Beautifully spoken today. Thank you so much for all of that. Let's have a round of applause, everybody, if we can. Your IBF and Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion of the World. Final thoughts with Mick Francis. He is one of the very best that we've ever seen here. Mick, tell us about it. It's going to be a great fight. Jai speaking beautifully this week, and Claudio, he does come into the fight with some quite humble confidence, which I think could be dangerous, but we know that Jai doesn't take anyone lightly.
Yeah, that's right. Look, Claudio's very respectful. Thank you for coming out, and we know that you're coming out and this is your Rocky moment. If you can upset the apple cart, all of a sudden your life changes. It's a big ask, it's a tall mountain to climb, but why not? This is the sport you've chosen. You want to test yourself, you test yourself against the best. For Jai, if Jai gets through this fight, obviously the way that we expect him to get through this fight, obviously he's on the bigger and better things. Unification is in the conversations, probably in October, so you won't probably see Jai back on Australian soil for quite a while now. But, regardless who Jai fights, it doesn't matter who he fights. It's always exciting to see Jai Opetaia in the boxing ring. He's one of Australia's best ever athletes. It's always exciting to see him in the ring. So, Sunday night is probably our last time we'll see Jai in Australia for quite a while. So, if you can, if you're local, get out, buy a ticket, bring the family, bring the kids. Live on DAZN if you can't make it. Download the app. Download the app today if you can. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great night. As I said, Jai Opetaia in the ring. There's no better athlete in Australia right now to come and watch him live. So thank you.